In our first movie, we worked with each of these individual generators to find clips of music that we could load back into our Final Cut project. This allowed us to do the final mix inside Final Cut. But there is an entirely different way of working, which could move the music mix totally outside of Final Cut into Sonicfire. Let me show you. Go up to File, go down to Export Project XML. I'm going to save an XML export out of this project, save it to the desktop just because I can find it in a hurry. Now this XML file is the instructions of how the edit is built, but it doesn't give me the actual video and audio elements that I can view inside Sonicfire. To do that, I'm going to go back up to File, go down to Share, and I'm going to share Apple devices. All I want to do is to create a simple movie that's as small and fast as possible that I can use as a reference to be able to see the pictures that I'm creating sound for. So I'm going to set this to Apple devices 720, pick the faster encode because speed is more important than quality, and the smallest file size I can because the size of the file is irrelevant. I just need a visual reference so I know what my music refers to. Click Next. We'll give this a name. We'll call it Drama Store to the desktop. This is going to take about 35 seconds to export. It's a little bit slower than real time on this system. I'll do a dissolve. I'll be back with you when this is done. And the export is complete. We'll close the notification, hide Final Cut, and start Sonicfire. So far, we've been working exclusively within the ExpressTrack interface, but there's an entire timeline hidden inside Sonicfire. Let me illustrate. Close this, go to File. We're going to import the XML file from Final Cut 10 by going to File, Import, Final Cut Pro XML. And we'll just click on Drama and bring it in. This opens up our timeline interface. And because I've exported the video separate from the XML, my music is contained in the timeline, but my dialogue and my video is contained inside the video window. Click the plus key to add the video, click on Drama, add it, and now when I play it, I can hear the dialogue and see the action.
What you doing down here, hon? Well, you really don't care.
Now we get to add some music. The benefit to working with the timeline interface inside Sonicfire is that we can easily compare different music cues, change the length of a music cue without re-exporting the file, integrate sound effects and hits, vary the timing within a music clip, vary mood mapping, the instrumentation within a music clip. And I have tutorials that cover all of these elsewhere on the Smart Sound website. To add a piece of music, select the placeholder, go over to the Properties panel and click on Select Music. That opens up the ExpressTrack interface. I'm going to start by going back to our film noir category, and let's just add the music that we like the best from our last movie. It came from Film Noir 3. The first one is Epilogue. Notice it's preset the length, and we click Insert, and the clip is automatically inserted into the timeline. Then I can go to the second clip, put my playhead right at the start of where the music is supposed to be, click the Select Music, and we're going to go back to Film 3 and let's pick the Calm and click Insert. And now these two pieces of music are added. If I click on the volume, this allows me to set keyframes, and I can pull the volume up or down. I can actually double-click to set a keyframe and set my levels inside Sonicfire, so my music is balanced before it even goes back to Final Cut. Now I could add additional clips, but rather than that, I want to concentrate on the process of getting files back and forth between Final Cut and Sonicfire and back to Final Cut, because there's a really important step that you need to know before you click the Send Back to Final Cut. Let's go back to Final Cut. When we import files, normally, using the File Import dialog, we have the ability to choose whether we want to have files left in place or copied. But when we bring files in from the Finder or from Smart Sound, Final Cut preferences take precedence. If we click on the Import preference, we went up to Final Cut Pro, went to Preferences. This one is critical. When you're bringing music in from Smart Sound, you must copy the files into the current library. If you leave the files in place, they're left in a temporary holding folder, which the next time you restart your computer, everything in that folder gets cleaned out. So it's important that you make sure that your preference files are set to copy files into the current library. When that's true, Now, when we go back to Smart Sound and say File, Send to Plugin Host, Apple Final Cut Pro 10, it will take this entire mix, export it, say where do I want it put? I want it in Smart Sound, select the library. It then loads it into the Smart Sound library, and there inside the Smart Sound library is my music. I'll just type the letter Q, add that down here, and that quickly.
What you doing down here, hon? You really don't care about anyone. I mean, how do you expect them to care about you?
I care about people. I care about you.
Look, hon, it ain't too late to change. Start acting nice. Maybe stop assaulting people, calling them names.
God, I'm just so sorry.
Perfect. Whether you decide to select music based upon individual generators placed in the Final Cut timeline, or export the entire timeline as an XML file and mix it inside the Sonicfire timeline itself, the ability to easily share music between the two applications can add an entirely new dramatic element to the projects that you create inside Final Cut Pro 10 using Sonicfire Pro 5.8. My name is Larry Jordan, and thanks for watching.